if you ever met that one Nigerian man whose favorite word is, "Do you know who I am?" then you already know the kind of trouble Bode carried on his head like cap. Bode was not rich, not handsome, not even tall. In fact, his trousers usually stepped before his ankle like they were also tired of him. But what Bode lacked in looks or money, he made up for in arrogance. He was a level 8 civil servant in one obscure government office that smelled of dust and paper. But in his own mind, he was the deputy governor of Lagos State. Everywhere he went, he introduced himself with one line, "Do you know who I am?" And if you didn't know, he would repeat it until you felt like apologizing for being born. His office had one elderly cleaner, Mama Titi, small woman with arthritis, always bent over mopping floor. One Monday morning, Bode entered, dragging his oversized leather bag, and saw Mama Titi cleaning near his desk. "Woman, are you mad?" he barked. Mama Titi jumped. Sorry, sir. I was just finishing." Bode flung his file on the table. "Do you know who I am? I am a senior officer in this ministry. If I step on water and fall, you will spend the rest of your life in Kirikiri prison." The woman looked at him with watery eyes. Other staff glanced at each other and hissed quietly. But nobody spoke because everybody knew Bode's mouth was sharper than razor. Another day, he entered one small buka at lunchtime. The waiter, a young man with pimples, smiled and said, "Good afternoon, sir. Please, wait. Someone will attend to you shortly." Bode exploded. "Wait? Do you know who I am? I don't wait. You don't tell people like me to wait. Bring me goat's pepper soup now and make it snappy or I will shut down this place." The boy blinked. "Shut it down?" "Yes," Bode shouted, pounding the plastic table. "Do you know I work with the government?" Other customers stared. Some chuckled under their breath. The waiter, embarrassed, ran to fetch the soup, and Bode sat back, chest out as if he had conquered one international war. One Friday evening, traffic caught him around CMS. Frustrated, he decided to enter Danfo bus. It was a big mistake. The conductor shouted, "Oh, Shodi, enter with your change, oh!" Bode squeezed in, pretending he was lowering himself to mingle with ordinary people. When it was time to pay, the conductor stretched his hand. "Oga, give me your money." Bode hissed, "You small boy, do you know who I am? I don't pay for Danfo like common men. I am a government official. Government pays me and you should acknowledge that." The whole bus stunned. One woman laughed so loud she nearly dropped her basket of tomatoes. The conductor looked at him, stunned, then shouted, "Oga, abeg, come down without your nonsense government." They dragged the bus to a stop and pushed Bode out. He stood by the roadside, dusting his trousers and shouting at strangers, "You will regret this. I have marked this bus. You will not use it in this Lagos again. Do you know who you just messed with?" The passengers laughed at the bus drivers, leaving him with shame and fumes. At home, Bode was worse. His compound was a normal Lagos face me, I face you, with 10 rooms sharing one corridor and one bathroom. Everybody lived like reluctant siblings, but Bode believed he was the king of the building. If children played 10-10 near his door, he came out roaring, "You small rats! Do you know who I am? I can call last man to arrest all of you." If the caretaker asked him for rent, he would smirk and say, "Me? Rent? Do you know who I am? I work with the government. You don't come asking for rent like that. You should give me 6 months notice before you ask of rent." One day, a widow in the compound, Mama Chiamaka, borrowed his bucket without asking. That night, Bode carried the bucket to the corridor, banged it on the floor and shouted, "If anybody here ever touches my property again, I will call EFCC. How dare you touch my thing? You don't know who I am?" The woman's children cowered behind her. Neighbors shook their heads. And from that night, they nicknamed him quietly, Oga, who are you? Behind his back, they gossiped. In the barber shop, at the compound tap, in church meetings, everybody said the same thing. One day, this man's mouth will put him in trouble. Mark my words, this is pride. It will disgrace him. God will use just one person now to answer this his stupid question that he asks all the time. But Bode never listened. Every insult rolled off his chest like rain on zinc roof. In his head, he was untouchable. And so, with every passing week, his pride grew. He barked at waiters, threatened cleaners, mocked his neighbors, and hissed at conductors until the day destiny finally decided to introduce himself. If pride was a disease, then Bode was already in stage 4. By now, his "do you know who I am" had become like breathing. He said it without thinking, like greeting, like coughing. People in the compound had accepted that living with him meant constant noise. But outside was where his disgrace began to gather momentum. It started one bright Saturday. A big Owambe in Surulere. Bode was not even invited. The card was for his office colleague. But once Bode heard there was big canopy, food and VIP section, he followed, uninvited. At the entrance, ushers in Gele stopped him. "Sorry, sir. This row is for the family only. It is reserved." Bode had just stared his oversized abada. "Family? My friend, do you know who I am? I work with government. I don't sit at the back with ordinary people. I sit with VIPs. The ushers exchanged looks. One tried to explain. "Please, sir, this side is reserved." Bode banged the chair. "Reserved what? Do you want me to call the commissioner of police now? I will just make one call and this entire wedding will scatter." Guests turned. Phones came out. Some people even giggled. The MC, one sharp man, caught the drama and announced into the microphone, "Ladies and gentlemen, please clap for our special guest. Oga, do you know?" Because he knew him. The crowd roared with laughter. Bode pretended to laugh along, but inside his chest was pepper soup, boiling. Still, he sat in VIP and ate rice like he had won a lottery. Another disgrace happened at a filling station. It was a long queue. Everybody was sweating. Cars lined like snakes. Bode arrived in his rickety Toyota Corolla, horn blaring. He drove straight to the front. "Excuse me, clear the way. Do you know who I am? I should be in front." Driver started shouting. One man banged his bonnet. "Oga, go back, go back. We've been here since 5 a.m. Bode jumped, chest wide. "You people are lucky. I am in a good mood. Do you know I can call police to shut down this station now? I work with the government." The crowd booed. Some shouted, "Ole, thief!" Some laughed. The attendant, a small boy, refused to pump fuel. Bode grabbed his shirt. "If you don't serve me now, you will regret it." One woman filming with her phone muttered, "What kind of wahala is this? I know this man, very arrogant, always claiming to be government minister. He should let us fetch fuel today. I pray one day he will meet his match." It didn't end there. At a popular hotel in Ikeja, Bode went for a small meeting. The receptionist politely asked him to sign the visitor's register. "Visitor? Do you know who I am? I don't sign anything. I am government myself." The poor girl tried to smile. "Sir, it's just procedure." Bode slammed the pen on the counter. "You want me to call EFCC for you? Do you want to lose your job?" Other guests in the lobby turned. One white man raised eyebrow. A group of young people in jeans snickered. From that day, staff nicknamed him Mr. Big Office, the man whose office was only in his mouth. Back home, the gist spread like wildfire. The ushers from the wedding told people. The filling station video circulated on WhatsApp. Even the receptionist told her cousin, who happened to be Mama Esther's niece. By evening, the compound was buzzing. Children started chanting, "Oga, who are you? VIP rice eater. Oga, who are you? Fuel thief cheater." Neighbors laughed behind us. Even the caretaker shook head and muttered, "This man's end is near. This arrogance will soon put him in deep trouble." But Bode, he was unmoved. He wore his disgrace like perfume. In fact, the more people mocked him, the louder and more arrogant he became. One night, sitting in the corridor, he told his neighbor proudly, "People don't understand. In this country, respect is everything. Oh, if you don't demand it, they won't give it to you. Me, I know who I am. I am bigger than them all." The neighbor only sighed because sometimes silence was the best answer, especially with Bode. By now, Bode's reputation was spreading beyond his compound. In offices, in bukas, at filling stations, people whispered the same thing. One day, this man's pride would deal with him. They didn't know they were prophesying. And destiny, that patient landlady, was already polishing his cane. The Saturday sun over Obalende was harsh that afternoon, burning hot like pepper stew. The roads were jammed as usual. Keke, Okada, Danfo, private cars, everybody fighting for small space. Bode sat behind the wheel of his rickety Toyota Corolla, one hand slapping the horn as if traffic would suddenly respect his noise. Sweat soaked his shirt, but pride wouldn't allow him roll down the window. He muttered to himself, "Nonsense country. If people respected each other, if they respected me, this kind of traffic will clear." Then it happened. In his impatience to squeeze through, his bumper scraped the black Honda Accord behind him. The sound was small, but sharp enough to draw eyes. The Accord pulled over. From it, a tall man stepped out, dressed simply, plain t-shirt, jeans, and a calm face. No chains, no noise. He bent quietly, ran his fingers over the scratch on his bumper, and shook his head. He was about entering his car when Bode jumped out of his car like a wounded lion. "Hey, you! Are you blind? Do you not know who I am?" The man straightened, his voice calm. "Sir, you're the one that hit my car." Bode puffed his chest. "Shut up! What nonsense car? I can buy 10 of this your nonsense. In fact, I am a government official. If I make one call now, you will sleep in the cell tonight." By now, the road had turned into theater. Bus conductors, market women, Okada riders, all had gathered. Lagosians love free drama. Phones were already out, recording. The quiet man tried once more. "Oga, I'm sorry. Let's talk about this thing calmly." But Calm and Bode never lived in the same house. Before anyone could blink, pa! His palm landed on the man's cheek. Gas filled the street. Someone shouted, "Ah, he slapped him!" Phones zoomed in closer. Bode adjusted his collar like a conqueror. "That's small. Next time you talk to me anyhow, you will know who I am." The man didn't argue. He didn't shout. He just pulled a small phone from his pocket and dialed a number. 2 minutes later, the sound of heavy boots thundered down the street. A military van screeched to a stop. Soldiers poured out like flood. "Which one of them is he?" One barked. The quiet man pointed. Before Bode could open his mouth, strong hands grabbed his shirt. His agbada sleeve tore instantly. His cap flew under a keke. He screamed, Wait! I didn't know who he was." One soldier sneered. "We don't care. You slapped a major." The crowd erupted. Someone who knew him shouted, "Chai! Oga, who are you? Don't meet him, macho." Bus conductors laughed until tears ran. Bode was bundled into the van like a stubborn goat. Phones captured every second. The torn sleeve, the trembling lips, the foolish cry of, "I didn't know who he was, oh." By evening, the video was everywhere. WhatsApp, Facebook,
Twitter, caption, proud man slaps soldier. See what happened next. Memes followed. One showed a goat with "Oga, who are you?" reporting for duty. Another showed his torn sleeve with latest fashion by government mouth. By 9 p.m. that night, the compound was unusually lively. People sat outside on plastic chairs, pretending to gist about NEPA and football. But everyone's ears were waiting for one thing. Would Bode come back? Then, around 10, a keke stopped at the gate. The driver hissed as Bode staggered down. His shirt was torn in 2 places, one shoe missing, lips swollen like overripe mango, and his left eye puffed shut. He tried to walk straight, but his legs wobbled. He dragged his bag under one arm like broken luggage. The corridor went quiet, the kind of silence that is full of whispers. Women pressed their wrappers to their mouths to hide laughter. Children giggled, covering their faces. Someone muttered loud enough for all to hear, "Oga, who are you? Don't turn to Oga who dem beat." Another voice added, Today, soldier has answered his question. Bode raised his head to back, but the pain stopped his words. He only hissed, spat on the ground, and limped into his room. The door slammed, but the compound was already bubbling. People laughed in corners, some mimicking the slap, others chanting softly, "Do you know who I am? Pa! Do you know who I am? Pa!" That night, nobody slept early. The corridor gossips multiplied, and Bode's shame became compound entertainment. Monday morning, the entire ministry buzzed like market. Everybody had seen the video. Some watched it twice, 3 times. Even the permanent secretary's driver was laughing. Bode walked in, face heavy, pride trying to sit upright, but shame pulling it down. Eyes followed him wherever he stepped his feet. Whispers chased him. By 10 a.m., his boss summoned him. The man removed his glasses slowly. "Bode, I warned you many times about this your arrogance. Respect is not demanded by shouting. Now everyone is talking about us because you've brought shame to this ministry and you're supposed to be the public relations officer. From today, you're removed from your current post. From now henceforth, you will now report to the records department." Records department? A dusty back office where old files and cobwebs competed for space. No power, no visitors, no respect. Just dust, silence and humiliation. Bode opened his mouth to protest, but the thought of what happened just a few days came back rushing. The boss slammed the desk. "Enough! We all know who you are, and that's the problem." That was the end of Bode's small empire. His title, his small corner office, his fake swagger, all gone in one stroke. Even Mama Titi, the old cleaner he once bullied, now passed by him without greeting. And that silence cut deeper than insults. By Sunday, he forced himself to attend church, thinking at least God's house would be safe. He wore his best agbada, tried to sit at the front row, but an usher blocked him politely. "Please, sir, sit at the back." The sting burned deeper than the soldier's slap. He shuffled to the back, head low, but pride still whispering, "Maybe nobody here knows." Then the pastor climbed the pulpit. His voice rang, "Brethren, the Bible says pride goeth before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall." Some of us here shout, "Do you know who I am? Do you know who I am?" until God himself reminded them that they are nothing without him. The whole church murmured. Some stole glances. Children giggled. The pastor never called his name, but the arrow pierced straight into his chest. He sat frozen, sweat dripping, eyes fixed on the floor. From that day, even the sanctuary became a reminder of his disgrace. At home, the compound children still mocked him with songs. "Oga, who are you? Soldier, slap your mouth. Oga, who are you? Carry your pride and go." But now, Bode never shouted back. He just sat alone every evening on a broken plastic chair staring into space. His voice, once sharp like blade, had gone quiet. Sometimes he muttered softly to himself, "Do you know who I am?" But it no longer sounded like power. It sounded like shame. And the truth, nobody cared anymore. The end. Thank you so much for watching this story till the end. Life has a way of teaching lessons the hard way. Pride is like smoke. It rises quickly and looks powerful, but in the end, it disappears, leaving only shame behind. That was exactly Bode's story. One reckless slap, one foolish question, do you know who I am? And everything he built came crashing down. The Bible was right. Pride goes before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall. Bode thought respect was something you could demand with noise and threats. But the truth is simple. Real respect is never forced. It is earned. So the next time your chest feels like rising, the next time your mouth wants to boast, remember Bode, because in life, the higher pride climbs, the harder and colder the fall will be. Now, I want to hear from you. Have you ever met someone like Bode? Someone whose pride was bigger than their reality? Please share your story in the comment section. Don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, especially the proud ones, and hit the subscribe button for more powerful stories that are coming your way. Trust me, you don't want to miss them. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.